Hi, I am Dr. Kaiya Ansorge, and today I'd like to talk about joy. But not joy that's just simple, but a complex kind of joy. The kind of joy that my mother really knew how to live. When my mom was about 50 years old, her life kind of fell apart. She had been married for almost 30 years and the marriage dissolved. She was not happy about it. She wanted to stay married and always loved my father. And shortly after that, she had hardly any income. She had been a stay-at-home mom with a part-time job. So she had very little income and she had no health insurance for the first time in 30 years, but lo and behold, that's when she got cancer. So she had cancer, she was unmarried, she decided to move back towards her birthplace, towards her family, and here she was in this new world that she had not chosen. Instead of feeling sorry for herself, she embraced it. She ran wholeheartedly towards this new life. And yes, she allowed herself to mourn the past, and she allowed herself to have feelings of anger and all of those things. But mostly, she trained her attention on the things that were going right, the things in her life that she could appreciate. And by training her attention on the things that were blessings to her at that point in her life, a whole new world opened to her. She, for the first time in her life, she never had money after this point. Well, not until the very end, and she actually had a little bit more money, but she became a professor. And she had only been doing part-time teaching, but all of a sudden she used her degree and she was a professor. She was an adjunct professor, so not full-time, but she was actually teaching college students, which is something she'd always wanted to do. Then pretty soon, someone actually asked her to write a book. 2 of them, in fact. She got a contract for 2 books, and so she created these 2 books that she'd always wanted to write. Well, all of those things started to open to her, and I don't know if they would have opened otherwise. They may have. They may not have. But probably the secret that is so important about my mom and what she brought to the world at that point in her life was she became this beacon of hope, that people could look at her and say, oh my gosh, her life is hard, and yet look at her. She is full of joy. And the secret to how she did that truly was by savoring the little things.